Welcome to my channel Valuable Rare Coins because, as you know, old is gold. Some of the rarest coins worth big money could be hiding in your hands right now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and watch till the end. Let's dive in. First, we're diving into one of the most exciting pieces of American coinage that's caught the attention of collectors across the globe, the United States Bicentennial Quarter Dollar Coin. Minted to celebrate the 200th anniversary of American independence, dated 1776 to 1976. This iconic coin is far more than pocket change. It's a piece of American history that could be hiding a fortune in plain sight. This special edition quarter is not just any old coin, it was struck to commemorate America's bicentennial, marking 200 years since the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Instead of the usual eagle on the reverse, this quarter features a stunning colonial drummer boy, a design that immediately sets it apart and gives it an unmistakable, patriotic charm. The words 1776 to 1976 on the obverse replace the typical date format, making it one of the most recognizable and memorable designs in U.S. coinage history. What makes this coin even more exciting is the fact that some rare versions, especially those with certain mint errors, are commanding absolutely jaw-dropping prices in the collector's market. We're talking about coins that were mistakenly struck on silver planchets, double-die obverse, off-center strikes, or those with clipped planchets, all of which are highly sought after by collectors and can be worth many times their face value. These aren't just minting flaws. They're golden tickets for coin enthusiasts who know what to look for. Imagine holding a quarter in your hand that might be worth thousands, and the only way to know is to look closer. One of the most valuable varieties is the 1976 Bicentennial quarter struck on a 40% silver planchet intended for collector sets. These were never meant to enter general circulation, yet some found their way into people's pockets. These silver coins have a distinctly different tone and are slightly heavier than the standard copper-nickel-clad quarters, a key detail any collector should pay attention to, but that's not all. There are bicentennial quarters with dramatic die errors that make them even more valuable, such as the double-die obverse, where letters like Liberty or In God We Trust appear slightly doubled to the naked eye. These errors occurred during the minting process when the die struck the coin multiple times out of alignment, creating a layered or ghosted effect on the design. These are not easy to find, but they are instantly recognizable to a trained eye and highly prized at auction. Another rare error to watch out for is the off-center strike, where the coin's design is visibly misaligned, sometimes as much as 10 to 20% off from the center. These errors happen when the coin blank isn't properly positioned in the press, and they create a dramatically unusual coin that collectors absolutely love. The more off-center the strike, without losing key details, the more valuable the coin becomes. Also on the radar are clipped planchets, where part of the coin appears as if it's been sliced off at the edge during minting. This rare flaw gives the quarter a unique crescent moon shape and can dramatically raise the coin's value depending on how clean and visible the clip is. Combine this with the bicentennial design, and you've got a collector's dream come true. These types of rare bicentennial quarters have made waves at major auction houses, with recent sales highlighting just how serious the demand has become. In some cases, these error coins, especially those in pristine uncirculated condition with clear and confirmed minting flaws, have sold for prices that defy belief. Collectors are lining up, and the market is showing no signs of slowing down as the bicentennial quarter continues to grow in both historical and monetary value. So, how do you know if the bicentennial quarter in your collection is one of these rare gems? First, inspect the coin's weight. If it's heavier than a typical quarter, you might be holding one of the rare silver planchets. Next, use a magnifying glass to check for doubling in the lettering, particularly on the front of the coin, especially around the word Liberty or the date 1776 to 1976. Also, examine the edges for any signs of misstrikes, off-center cuts, or unusual shapes. These small imperfections could mean big value. Always remember, the condition of the coin is just as important as the error itself. Coins that are in mint state, with no scratches, wear, or fingerprints, will command the highest prices. If you find a coin that looks promising, consider having it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Certified coins are trusted by collectors and can fetch much higher prices at auction. Collectors around the world are hunting for these bicentennial quarters with rare features, and the demand is only increasing with time. With millions of these coins originally minted, only a handful display the unique characteristics that make them worth serious money. If you think you've got one, or you're curious about your own collection, leave a comment below. We'd love to hear your story and help you uncover what you might have. Now, here's the moment you've all been waiting for. How much can one of these ultra-rare bicentennial quarters actually be worth? Hold on to your seats, because some of these rare, error-filled, high-grade 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarters have been known to sell for as much as $98,000 at auction. That's right, one simple quarter, potentially worth $98,000, hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone like you to discover it. So go check your change jars, search through your coin rolls, and look in that old drawer, because you just might be holding a treasure without even knowing it. Second rare coin. We're about to uncover the hidden story behind a seemingly ordinary piece of change that could be worth a small fortune, the United States $quarter coin from 1990, minted with the P mint mark from Philadelphia. While millions of these coins were produced and have passed through countless hands, a small number of rare varieties with unique errors have made this coin one of the most talked about and sought-after pieces in the collector world at first glance. The 1990 P quarter might not look like anything special. It features the familiar image of George Washington on the obverse and the bold eagle on the reverse, standing proud with its wings spread wide. But as any serious collector will tell you, it's not always about what you see at first glance. It's about the details, the minting quirks, and the hidden imperfections that make all the difference. And with this specific quarter, certain rare errors have turned an everyday coin into a collector's dream. One of the most desirable features that adds significant value to the 1990 P quarter is the presence of rare minting errors. And some of these are so scarce that they've become legendary in the numismatic community. We're talking about dramatic double-die errors, off-center strikes, missing mint marks, and even quarters struck on the wrong planchets. Each of these rare mistakes tells a story, a moment during the high-speed minting process when something unusual happened, and the result was a coin that broke the mold, quite literally. Among the most coveted of these errors is the double-die obverse, where the text on the front of the coin appears slightly doubled, particularly around the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." These subtle yet visible duplications occur when the coin die strikes the blank more than once, slightly misaligned. Spotting one of these in your collection can make all the difference, especially if the doubling is strong and visible without magnification. Collectors pay a premium for these eye-catching varieties because of their rarity and unmistakable visual appeal. Another exciting variety comes from coins with an off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank is not correctly aligned in the press, causing the design to be shifted noticeably to one side. Depending on the degree of off-center and how much of the design remains intact, these coins can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The most valuable off-center coins are those where key design elements like Washington's face or the date are still clearly visible despite the misalignment, and when you pair that with a 1990 P quarter, you've got a real winner. Let's not forget about quarters struck on the wrong planchet. This is when a quarter is mistakenly minted on a blank meant for a different denomination or even a foreign coin. These errors are incredibly rare and highly desirable because they're one of a kind. Imagine finding a 1990 P quarter that weighs differently than normal or has a slightly different color or texture. That could be your sign that it was struck on the wrong metal, and that uniqueness can skyrocket its value on the open market. Collectors have been buzzing about this coin thanks to recent auction results that shocked the community. One such 1990 P quarter, believed to be struck with a rare error and in pristine, uncirculated condition, recently sold for a staggering amount at a major numismatic auction. What makes these high-value coins even more remarkable is their rarity and high grades. Coins that have been perfectly preserved, showing no signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration, can achieve mind-blowing prices when paired with the right mint error, and experts predict demand will only increase as more collectors hunt for these elusive treasures. So, how can you find one of these valuable 1990 P quarters? Start by checking any quarter in your collection dated 1990 with a P mint mark, then inspect the details carefully. Use a magnifying glass to look for signs of doubling in the letters, particularly around Liberty and the date. Weigh the coin to see if it matches the standard weight for quarters. Any significant difference could mean a planchet error. Examine the edges for signs of misalignment or clipping, and compare the coin's strike to others from the same year. These small details could reveal a major error hiding in plain sight, if you're lucky enough to find a potential treasure in your coin jar or collection. It's worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts can certify the error, determine its grade, and officially document its authenticity, which can massively boost its value when you decide to sell or auction it. Having a certified rare error coin from 1990 isn't just about owning a piece of metal, it's about holding history in your hands, with a story and a value that collectors are eager to chase. The buzz around the 1990 P quarter has only grown louder in recent years, with coin forums, collector communities, and auction houses all highlighting this coin as one to watch. With new collectors entering the hobby and experienced numismatists deepening their searches, demand for rare error coins like this is at an all-time high. If you're sitting on a 1990 P quarter and haven't checked it closely yet, now's the time. You never know what you might discover. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, just how much can a rare, error-filled, high-grade 1990 P quarter be worth? Brace yourself, because one of these stunningly rare coins has been known to sell for as much as $43,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right, $43,000 for a single quarter that might be sitting unnoticed in a coin roll, a change jar, or an old collection. This is your chance to become part of numismatic history, to uncover a coin that turns spare change into serious cash and transforms your love of coins into something truly rewarding. Third expensive coin, we're turning our attention to a coin that might just be hiding in your pocket, your drawer, or an old collection, the 1986 United States quarter dollar with the P mint mark. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter, but as we've seen time and time again, the world of coin collecting is full of hidden gems. And this particular coin has been making waves in the numismatic community thanks to its rare and valuable error varieties. The 1986 P quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint and features the familiar profile of George Washington on the obverse and the powerful image of a bald eagle on the reverse, wings outstretched in a bold display of strength and freedom. While the design may seem standard, the truth is that not all 1986 P quarters are created equal, and some of them are worth far more than 25 cents. This unassuming coin, when found with specific minting errors, can reach values that make collectors and investors alike sit up and take notice. What makes the 1986 P quarter so exciting is the possibility of rare mint errors that occurred during its production. These errors are not only fascinating to study, but also extremely valuable when found in high-grade condition. Among the most sought-after errors are the double die obverse, off-center strikes, and wrong planchet strikes. Each of these unique anomalies turns an everyday coin into a numismatic treasure. The thrill of discovering one of these rare coins is what makes the hunt so rewarding for passionate collectors across the country. One error that has caught serious attention is the double die obverse, a fascinating minting mistake that occurs when the die imprints the coin design twice, slightly misaligned. This causes the text and details on the front of the coin, such as Liberty or In God We Trust, to appear doubled, and that doubling can be subtle or extremely bold depending on how severe the error was. Coins with this kind of doubling are instantly more desirable and can command thousands of dollars when sold in pristine condition. Another incredible error to look out for in the 1986 P quarter is the off-center strike. These coins were minted when the blank was improperly aligned in the coining press, resulting in a design that is noticeably shifted to one side. The more dramatic the off-center appearance, while still keeping the date and mint mark visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Collectors love these types of errors because each one is completely unique, with no two off-center strikes looking exactly the same. One of the most spectacular types of errors involves the coin being struck on the wrong planchet. For example, a quarter mistakenly struck on a dime blank or even on a foreign coin's planchet. This type of error often results in a quarter that is lighter or smaller than usual, and it may even have a different color or edge pattern. When authenticated by a grading service, these wrong planchet quarters can sell for thousands, especially if they're from a year like 1986, which wasn't widely known for such mistakes, making them even more rare. Collectors have been buzzing about recent sales involving high-grade 1986p quarters with these rare error types. At major auctions, certified coins with confirmed doubling or significant off-center strikes have fetched incredible prices, turning what once might have seemed like spare change into a fortune. When these rare features are paired with near-perfect condition, no wear, sharp details, and that original mint luster, the value skyrockets. It's these kinds of finds that fuel the excitement in the collecting world and keep collectors searching with passion and persistence. So, how do you know if your 1986p quarter is special? Start by inspecting the coin with a magnifying glass under good lighting. Look closely at the lettering, especially Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date for any signs of doubling or shadow-like lines. Weigh the coin on a precision scale. The standard weight for a clad quarter is 5.67 grams, so any significant deviation could point to a planchet error. Also check for odd shapes or alignment issues that could indicate an off-center strike or clipped planchet. Every detail matters when hunting for a rare variety. If you believe you've found a 1986p quarter that shows any signs of these errors, or if it looks particularly flawless and untouched, it's absolutely worth having it evaluated by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified coin with documented errors and a high mint state grade can open the doors to premium sales, major auctions, and collector interest from all over the world. Even better, grading protects the coin's condition and authenticity, ensuring that your treasure is recognized and valued for years to come. The demand for error coins like the 1986p quarter has surged in recent years, with collectors actively searching through coin rolls, estate sales, and even pocket change to find these rare examples. Social media communities, online forums, and collector conventions are all buzzing with stories of valuable finds and the thrill of the hunt. If you've ever thought about diving deeper into coin collecting, now is the perfect time, especially with coins like this hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for: how much can a rare, error-filled, high-grade 1986p quarter actually be worth? Believe it or not, one of these special coins has been known to sell for as much as $70,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that correctly. $70,000 for a single quarter that might just be resting quietly in a forgotten coin jar or pocketbook. This is why collectors continue the search and why passion for numismatics continues to grow, because every now and then, a simple coin becomes an extraordinary treasure. Especially, we're diving into one of the most exciting and highly talked about coins in American numismatic history, the 1965 United States quarter dollar. This is not just any quarter, and it's certainly not something you should overlook if you come across it in your collection. Some versions of the 1965 quarter are so rare, so unique, and so valuable that they've sold for absolutely mind-blowing amounts at auction, and today, we're going to reveal exactly why this coin is turning heads in the collector world. The 1965 quarter marks a major turning point in U.S. coinage history. It was the very first year that the U.S. Mint switched from using 90% silver in quarters to a copper-nickel clad composition. This change happened because the price of silver had become too high and the government needed to move to a more affordable material. As a result, 1965 quarters were never officially released in silver, or at least, they weren't supposed to be. And that's where this story starts to get really interesting. You see, during the transition from silver to clad planchets, a few rare 1965 quarters were accidentally struck on leftover silver blanks from 1964. These coins are known as transitional errors, and they're among the most desirable and valuable coins in the entire world of collecting. To the untrained eye, These silver quarters might look just like their clad counterparts, but to those who know what to look for, they stand out as hidden treasures just waiting to be discovered. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare 1965 silver quarters? First, check the edges. Clad quarters have a visible copper core when viewed from the side, while silver quarters have a solid silver edge with no color difference. Another key way to identify a silver planchet is by weight. A silver quarter weighs about 6.25 grams, while the newer copper-nickel clad quarters weigh around 5.67 grams. That small difference can mean the difference between 25 cents and a six-figure payday, but the excitement doesn't stop with silver transitional errors. Other rare and valuable 1965 quarters include double die strikes, off-center errors, and even coins struck on the wrong planchets. A double die quarter will have a visible doubling of the text or numbers, especially in areas like Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date. These are striking to see under magnification and are highly sought after by collectors who love unique imperfections. Off-center strike errors are another amazing discovery that can increase the value of your coin dramatically. If the quarter was not properly aligned in the press, the design can appear shifted to one side, often cutting off part of the design while leaving the date and other key elements visible. The more dramatic the misalignment, the more collectors are willing to pay, especially if the coin is from a historically significant year like 1965. Some 1965 quarters were also struck on dime planchets, a rare error that results in a smaller, lighter quarter with incomplete designs around the edges. These wrong planchet errors are incredibly rare and valuable as they combine two fascinating elements, a transitional year and a striking mistake. Coins like this are often snapped up quickly at auctions by experienced collectors who know just how rare they are. Speaking of auctions, some of these special 1965 era quarters have made headlines with their jaw-dropping prices. A verified 1965 quarter struck on a 90% silver planchet in high-grade condition recently sold for a price that stunned the collecting community. As demand for rare U.S. coins continues to grow and collectors search tirelessly for historical errors, the value of these coins continues to rise, and those lucky enough to find one are seeing life-changing rewards. If you've got a 1965 quarter at home, whether it came from an old collection, a coin roll hunt, or even just your spare change, now is the time to take a closer look. Weigh it on a precise digital scale, examine the edges, and check for any unusual features. If you suspect that you've got something special, consider sending it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified and authenticated error coin can sell for much higher values and will instantly become a prized possession in any collection. There's never been a better time to explore the exciting world of rare coins. And the 1965 quarter is one of the most thrilling pieces you could hope to discover. With its transitional year status, rare minting errors, and the historical shift away from silver coinage, this quarter represents a powerful moment in American history, and owning one of its rare error versions is like owning a piece of that legacy. Now, for the moment you've all been waiting for, just how much can one of these incredibly rare 1965 quarters actually be worth? Believe it or not, a 1965 quarter struck on a silver planchet, in pristine condition, authenticated and verified, has been known to sell for as much as $151,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. $151,000 for a single quarter that might be sitting unnoticed in your collection or your coin jar at home. That's why it's so important to check those coins carefully, because history, value, and opportunity can be hiding in the smallest details. Last unique coin. We're diving into one of the most fascinating and surprisingly valuable coins that might just be hiding in your change, the 1991 United States quarter dollar with the D mint mark, struck at the Denver Mint. While this coin might appear ordinary at first glance, it holds a world of secrets beneath its surface, secrets that could be worth thousands of dollars to the right collector. The 1991 D quarter carries the timeless image of George Washington on the obverse and the bold American eagle on the reverse, just like other quarters of that era. But the real excitement lies not in the design, which is classic and patriotic, but in the rare errors and unique minting quirks that occurred during its production. These hidden variations have made some examples of this coin extremely valuable. turning an everyday piece of pocket change into a must-have item for serious collectors. During the early 1990s, the Denver Mint produced hundreds of millions of quarters, but within that massive production run, mistakes happened. And those mistakes, or mint errors, are what collectors dream about. Some of the most valuable 1991 D quarters include those with double-die errors, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and even rare examples struck on wrong planchets, each one adding serious value and making the coin stand out in the numismatic world. One of the most captivating varieties to look for is the double-die obverse, where the letters and numbers on the front of the coin appear slightly doubled, especially in areas like Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1991. This happens when the die shifts slightly between strikes, imprinting a doubled image on the coin. These types of errors are not just visually stunning, they are extremely desirable and can dramatically increase a coin's market value, especially when the doubling is strong and visible without magnification. Another rare and exciting error to watch for is the off-center strike. These coins were misaligned during minting, causing the design to be printed off to one side, sometimes cutting off key features like the rim or even part of the eagle's wings. The more dramatic the off-center alignment, while still keeping parts of the date or lettering visible, the more valuable the coin becomes. Every off-center strike is unique, making it a true one-of-a-kind piece that collectors love to hunt for and display. Also, keep your eyes peeled for clipped planchet errors, where a portion of the coin's edge is missing due to a misfeed during production. These coins have a distinctive curved cutout and are extremely rare in quarters from the early 90s. Combine this error with a well-preserved condition, and you've got a coin that could command attention at any major coin show or auction. One of the most impressive and rarest errors to find is a wrong planchet strike, where a quarter is mistakenly struck on a coin blank meant for another denomination, such as a nickel or a foreign coin. These coins are typically lighter or smaller than usual, with strange coloration or edge patterns, and are nearly impossible to fake. When authenticated, they often go straight into elite collections and sell for stunning prices. Now, you might be wondering how to spot one of these rare and valuable 1991 D quarters in your own collection. Start by carefully checking the weight of your coin. A standard clad quarter weighs around 5.67 grams, so any significant deviation could mean you're holding a wrong planchet error. Examine the lettering closely for doubling, especially under a magnifying glass or microscope. Check the edges for any signs of clipping or off-center striking. Every small detail could reveal something big. Condition is everything in the world of coin collecting. A coin with one of these rare errors that is also in mint state or uncirculated condition will always fetch higher prices at auction. That's why, if you believe you've found something special, it's worth having your coin evaluated and graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. These services provide expert authentication, assign a grade, and seal your coin for protection, dramatically increasing its value and market appeal. Collectors across the country and around the world are searching for these 1991 D quarters with growing excitement, and the demand continues to rise with each rare find. In recent auctions, error coins from the early 90s have surprised even the most seasoned experts with their final hammer prices. The 1991 D quarter, with its known error varieties and limited surviving examples in high condition, is becoming a high-demand piece in the collecting community. If you've been saving coins or searching through rolls from the bank, don't overlook those 1991 quarters, especially the ones with the D mint mark. What may seem like just another coin could actually be your gateway to owning a piece of history and adding significant value to your collection. Every coin tells a story, and in the case of the 1991 D quarter, that story could be worth thousands. And now for the part you've all been waiting for: how much can one of these rare and special 1991 D quarters actually be worth? In a verified case, a 1991 D quarter with a rare error and in top-grade condition was sold for an astonishing price of $33,000 at auction. Yes, that's $33,000 for a single quarter that once might have been passed from hand to hand without anyone realizing its hidden value. That's why we always say, every coin deserves a closer look, because you never know when you're holding something truly special. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the secrets of the 1991 quarter and want to explore more hidden gems in your pocket change, be sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our future discoveries. Have a 1991 quarter you want to ask about or found an interesting coin recently? Drop a comment below. We'd love to hear your story and help you uncover its true value. Thanks for watching, and until next time, happy collecting!